I'm Andre Haynes from the Armed Forces Chamber PAC, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the third joint endorsement interview for the endorsements of Veterans in Politics International, Nevada Democrat Veterans and Military Family Caucus, Nevada Veterans Association, and the Armed Forces Chamber PAC. We'd like to thank our sponsors, the Foreign Exchange, Ava Bravo, Justice of the Peace Department 2 candidate, Shelley Berkeley, Las Vegas Mayor candidate, Christian Bishop, Nevada State District 5 candidate. Also, please do not forget about our silent auction. And we're now going to turn this over to our moderator, Patricia Lee, Nevada Supreme Court Justice.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you to our panelists today, as well as our candidate, Mr. McCurdy, for joining us. I've been asked to explain the interview process, and so we can keep a orderly event here. The panel members will first start by introducing themselves by giving their name, position, and the organization that they represent. Then, if you, Mr. McCurdy, could give us a 1-minute introduction of yourself, including why you are running and seeking the endorsements of the panelists and their organizations. When you receive a question from a panel member, you will be given 1 minute to answer their question. Andre will be the timekeeper. Once you receive the yellow card, you will be given 15 seconds to wrap up. Once you are given the red card, he will cut you off. And then at the conclusion of the interview process, if you could give us a 1-minute closing statement, again, stating why you are seeking the endorsement of these fine organizations. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with the introductions. We'll start with Ms. Kelly over here.
Yes, hi, I'm Madeline Kelly, and I am representing Nevada Democrat Veterans.
I'm Yvonne Malone. I am representing Veterans in Politics International.
Patsy Brown, Armed Forces Chamber PAC.
Andre Haynes, Armed Forces Chamber PAC.
Timothy Treffinger, Veterans in Politics International.
Matthew DeFalco, Nevada Democratic Veterans and Military Families Caucus.
Martin Walker, Veterans in Politics International.
Mikey Kelly, Nevada Democratic Veterans and Military Families Caucus.
And I'm Gary White, Nevada Democratic Veterans and Military Families Caucus.
Thank you, panelists. Mr. McCurdy, if you can now introduce yourself and give a short statement of why you are seeking the endorsements today.
First and foremost, I want to thank all of our service members in attendance for your service. I know that we would not enjoy the freedoms that we do today had it not been for your service and your sacrifice for our country and for our freedoms. I am William McCurdy II. I am a candidate again for Clark County Commissioner. I am born and raised right here in Las Vegas. My family has been here since the late 30s, 40s, and we have a history of service. I'm a son of a pastor and wife. My mom was a teacher. My dad served as the Housing Authority director at a point in time, and my background is in labor. I grew up short stone's throw from here, in the historic West Side. I was once a high school dropout, teenage father, and I pulled myself up after working construction for a period of time, went to school, got my high school diploma at 24 years old, and then went to College of Southern Nevada, became a president of the college of all 40,000 students, and I am no stranger to hard work. Everything that I've done has been through hard work, and I am running because I sincerely believe that our best days are ahead of us on the Clark County Commission and in District D. I'm strongly in support of economic development, in support of making sure that we continue to help our community thrive, and I only believe that that is possible through collaboration and communication and making sure that our residents are educated on the process.
Thank you, Mr. McCurdy. We'll go ahead and start now with the panel questions. This time, let's start with Mr. Treffinger.
Thank you, Madam Justice. Thank you for being here and speaking with us today. My question is regarding the the homeless epidemic and how that plays into the court system here. I'm a criminal defense attorney currently. I've worked as a prosecutor in the past, and I've watched the revolving door of veterans and other homeless coming through the court system, dealing with a variety of mental health and other issues, including the opiate epidemic. What do you believe can be done through the county commission to raise awareness of these issues and stem the tide of these people constantly coming back into court rather than being rehabilitated and helped out of the system?
So one of the sole responsibilities of the Clark County Commission is for social services. By charter, we have the sole mandate of dealing with all social service issues. I can tell you over the last 4 years, we spent nearly $500 million in social services. That includes keeping people housed, that includes helping with utility assistance, and also that includes standing up emergency housing and permanent supportive housing. And just last week, we invested another $30 million into permanent supportive housing. And in particular, to our veterans, I am actually in the process of working with our county leadership to establish an Office of Veteran Affairs and veteran services through the Board of Clark County Commissioners. I believe that we have a lot of work to do, and it's not going to be an easy task, but for the individuals that are on the corridor that are experiencing homelessness, we have a corridor court, as you know, and we also received through the legislature $100 million in collaboration with the hotel properties as well as with the county in collaboration. We're going to be establishing an entire campus that will have over 2,000 units that will offer wraparound services and connection to the resources that folks need to get back to a path of self-sustainability.
Thank you. Mr. Hayes, do you have a question for a candidate? Okay, Ms. Brown.
Thank you. Can you articulate your approach to ensuring transparency and accountability in county governance?
Transparency is important in every level of government, not just the county, but every state, federal, and every local office, to include the courts. And one thing that we've been very keen on in the county is making sure that we are transparent with everything we do. You will see that in action through how we just rolled out our debrief from F1. It was an over 65-page document, line iteming it out exactly how we did. It talks about the pros, it talks about the cons, it talks about the steps forward. And we also adopted an ordinance that will take a look at making sure that every member on a county commission is operating in a way and functioning in a way that's, that's becoming of the role. And that was just passed as well. So through not only just those actions, but through personal endeavors, I have always been someone that, makes sure that we have accountability in government. The number one role of a county commissioner, any person in public service, is to be accountable for the tax dollar. Every dollar that we spend, whether it's in social services or in housing, these are our tax dollars. And what better way to make sure that we're accountable with those resources than by having mechanisms in place to ensure that we can audit ourselves and know that we are operating in a manner that's best and most efficient for the people.
Thank you. Ms. Malone?
As a county commissioner, what are you actively doing to support and assist veterans, active duty military members, and their families?
Currently, I'm in the process of allocating money to our chambers, which includes the Veterans Chamber of Commerce, or whatever commerce will be best suited to take in those resources, to help those small business owners to have, the tools and resources that they need. I'm in the process of also, and it's a fully funded project, it's a micro business park and housing development, which is going right in the West Side, which is going to be a place where entrepreneurs and small business owners, including our veteran service members, can have the tools and resources to not only bring their businesses there, but also have the support systems above to actually help them, whether it's in accounting, marketing, whatever it may be, to be able to thrive. Also, as I stated just a few short moments ago, I am in the process of establishing Office of Veteran Affairs. Through the County Commission, I'm also looking at creating a Veterans Commission through the county.
Ms. Kelly?
One issue vets are being faced with today is access to jobs and competing with non-vets for certain jobs. As county commissioner, would you commit to giving veterans special considerations when they are in the process of seeking a job with the county? How would you go about doing this?
So for my time on the prior to being on the county commission, I served in the legislature and I served on government affairs. I also was a vice chairman of the board for government affairs. And while there was policy that came forward that gave extra scoring points for veterans who would apply for a job and which would essentially lift their application to the top. At the county, we have those same considerations, and we have probably the highest number of service members in local government than any other entity.
Thank you. Mr. DeFalco.
Thank you for being here, Commissioner. Clark County Sheriff Kevin McMahill has proposed establishing a wellness center for police, fire, and medical personnel. This center aims to provide mental health support and a fitness facility for first responders to address unresolved trauma and promote overall well-being. Will you commit to supporting Sheriff McMahill's initiative to establish this wellness center and ensure its effective operation for the benefit of our police officers, firefighters, medical personnel, a significant number of whom are military veterans?
Yes. And to just expound a little bit on that, I think that Sheriff McMahill is doing a phenomenal job. I strongly believe in his philosophy, and I have supported similar legislation in the past that came through the state level that helped our firefighters and police and first responders get the resources that they need for like PTSD related issues, especially after events like 1 October and other significant events that occurred in our community. But I think that we can support the sheriff, but also take it a step further. We have a lot of other things that we're considering, and I'm looking forward to coming to fruition.
Thank you. Mr. Walker?
Thank you for being with us today. So we have moved back into Tier 1 status for water reclamation due to the great rainfall we've had and the water we're getting from the Colorado Basin. But we still compete with, California and Arizona for water. What are your thoughts on how we can tackle the water reclamation issues that we still face in the subsequent years, given the expansion that we're having with our population, treatment of water, just your overall thoughts on how we're going to deal with the water treatment?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and that's one that keeps probably all of us up at night. That impacts the lives of future generations, right? But we have taken significant steps on the Board of County Commissioners. We've banned evaporative cooling, which conserves water. We have also limited pool sizes to 600 square feet, and every drop of water that goes into a drain is reclaimed. We conserve probably 99.9% of all water that goes into a drain. The issue regarding the Colorado River Compact is a significant one. I mean, back when it was negotiated, it was probably like a few hundred people in Las Vegas. Whoever thought we would have over 2.4 million people in Southern Nevada and 3 million statewide. So I believe that this board is going to have to take more stringent measures around conservation, and some of the most painful things are yet to come. And we're working with our development corps as well, because as we have to conserve water, we also have to continue to build, housing, because we're over 100,000 units short. So it's a complex problem, complex challenge, and it's one that's going to take all of us being, a part of. But at the end of the day, short of federal legislation mandating that, we do that, which would literally cause a civil war, because no one's going to give up their water. It's the only resource that helps generate life. But we're doing everything that you can possibly think of to conserve water, and we're also partnering with folks like California to invest in water desalination, which is a longer road. And we also considered, folks talk about the pipe from the Midwest. You got to get 20 other states to agree to that, which is not just feasible. But it's a complex issue, and 1 minute wouldn't justify, the answer that you deserve.
Thank you, indeed. I think we have time for one more question. Mr. Kelly?
Madam Justice, Commissioner McCurdy, thank you very much for attending. I'm going to skip because you already kind of answered the question about setting up a Veterans Center, a commission, or Office of Veterans Affairs. So.
Office of Veterans Affairs and a Veterans Commission.
Mr. White, do you have a question?
Mr. McCurdy, real quick, do you support a light rail system in the valley? We have a serious transportation problem. The city is blowing up as far as population. The roads are not handling it. What are your thoughts on getting something together as far as building a high-speed, not a high-speed, a light rail system in the valley?
So our board, great question, and I totally agree. Transportation is an issue, especially when you live in the outer communities. With the current transportation system that we have as well. But I certainly support, Brightline. I support Lightspeed Rail. I think that, we're overdue. We're one of the most modern cities in America. I supported the resolution that helped us receive over $3 billion for the $12 billion project. And you're going to see some projects that are coming up soon that's going to, start along the Maryland Parkway corridor from the airport, and that's going to go west on Charleston, connecting Maryland Parkway to Charleston up to the west.
Thank you, Mr. McCurdy. Well, that concludes the interview portion. If we could have you please make a closing statement, just a 1-minute closing statement as to why these organizations should endorse you.
I believe in us. I believe in our city, and I believe in our county, and I believe in our state. Ever since we were born in 1864, we literally saved America. We saved the Union by just coming into the Union. We funded the war, and because of that, the nation owes us a great debt here in Nevada. We are battle-born. But I also believe that if we don't continue to grow in a responsible manner, then we won't be able to leave anything to our children. And I believe that also, equally, being that we have more veterans per capita than any state in the nation, that we can do better for our veterans. We can do better not only in terms of the services that we provide, but also the opportunities that you deserve. I personally have relatives that are service members. I know the sacrifice that they've made for them and their families. And I can tell you that there is no other candidate, not now, nor in the future, that will support the veteran community the way that I will. And I am someone that is very sincere about the work that we do. I know that our best days are ahead of us, but we have to continue to elect candidates that actually share in that same mission. Understanding that if we don't work together, we won't inherit, or our children won't inherit, a state or a county that they can be proud of or even afford to live in. So I will respectfully ask that you support my reelection campaign. But also, after supporting my reelection campaign, I ask that you stay involved. Many of you should serve on this commission that's created. Your voice is needed, now more than ever. We live in a very uncertain time in our nation, and there is turmoil all across the globe. But I believe this beacon in Nevada will be, I believe that we will be essentially the light that carries us all forward because of what we're doing here. What we've been able to do, how we continue to reinvent ourselves, how we continue to invest in ourselves. And even in the face of turmoil, which we've experienced a lot of over these past few years, we've always come out bigger and better and stronger. So thank you for allowing me to be here. I am sorry that I am late. I was getting ready for a quinceañera, but the reality is we make it work, and that's what we do.
Thank you, Mr. McCurdy, and thank you to our esteemed panelists for all of your very insightful questions today. And this will conclude the interview for Clark County Commissioner District D seat. Mr. Kurt McCurdy, thank you for joining us.